All right. Well, good afternoon. Welcome everybody to this afternoon's webinar, and the RDA is the focus for this afternoon. A couple quick reminders. This is being recorded, and the recording within maybe about a week will be posted to whatever site that you accessed it from, because there's a link on the RDA site that said join that will be replaced with view. There's also a link on the special education website for webinars that where you joined, and that will eventually say view once the recording is downloaded for it and it's viewable. Another reminder is the Q&A is open for you to put questions, but we will not be answering those questions live. There's not a chat feature for this. Once in a while I see people raise their hand. Just know that we're not going to be responding to raised hands or any questions during the webinar. So, but other than that, I think I'm going to turn it over to the first person who's going to talk today, which is Jennifer Patterson.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for your time today. So we're going to be walking through some information that is very timely because today is the day that all of the final 2024 RDA reports were posted live with determination levels. So we're going to walk through several resources and some information that people need to know so that they can move forward with this year's process. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay. So the first page I want to highlight is the page where all of the public reports are posted. So this is the Results-Driven Accountability Data and Reports page, and this is maintained by the Performance Reporting Division at TEA. So what you do when you go to this webpage is you go to the District Reports link, and then you'll see that the 2024 year is the default. You can always go back and find previous year's reports, but the default year as of today is 2024. So these are the current reports with the determination levels at the LEA level. So what you would do is you would either enter the district number or district name. If you do the district name, you would type it in here, or at least part of it. If you do the district number, this is the CDN. Hit continue, and that's what would pull up the report for that district. So this is the page you would find all of this on, and it is one of the links in the agenda, so you can go there and access this report. But as of this morning, all of the 2024 LEA level district reports are live on this website. The to the administrator address for this same information has not gone out yet today. When it does, it will be posted to the TAA page, which can be found if you go to the TEA website and then click on TEA correspondence. This pulls up all of the TAAs that have gone out from most recent date at the top. So you can see that this week's TAAs have not been posted yet today. So if you wanted to see like what would this look like when it gets there, if you want to check, or if you want to go back and search at any time, you can just go into the search, type RDA, and it will automatically filter. So this is what it looked like for the 2023 RDA reports, and it will look very similar for 2024. But it will have the date, today's date at the top. The subject will be the 2024 results-driven accountability determinations and monitoring, and then the format will look very similar to this. It will be a reminder of what RDA is. It will talk about the 2024 accountability manual. It will reference LEA area determination levels with some links that you can use. All of the links that you'll see on the TAA going out today will be the current 2024 links. And then we'll have a link down here for the bilingual ESL or bilingual education ESL, emergent bilingual, and OSP program area self-assessment training. And Raul is going to talk about that in just a moment. But like I said, the TAA for this year has not gone out today. When it does post, you can find it at the TEA correspondence link, and it would have today's date at the top. So that is the start of this. I'm going to turn it over to Raul to talk about that self-assessment for bilingual ESL, EB, and OSP.
Thank you, Jen. And good afternoon, everyone. I just wanted to use this time to let you know that we will be having the self-assessment training for bilingual ESL and OSP program areas on December 11 at 10 a.m. Central Time. Please click on the link provided in the agenda to register for the webinar. I will be sending out notification emails next week with information regarding this training to the identified LEAs with a determination level of 3 and 4 in bilingual ESL and OSP. And feel free to send me an email if you have any questions once you receive the notification email. And thank you very much for your time. I'll pass it to Lori.
Perfect. Thank you. So I am going to share with you a couple pieces of information. The first one is going to be a sample of the targeted notification that LEAs who received a certain determination level in the area of special education will be receiving. These notifications will go out on Monday, the 18th. And in the notification, it will let you know what level of engagement you will be participating in with the agency. So as you can see on the sample notice, a little bit of historical information, how the determinations are made, paired with some resources. And then it provides information on targeted monitoring, the activities and what triggers that activity, as well as the intensive supports. This section right here in the middle, these LEA monitoring activities, this is where you will find out what you are expected to do as part of your engagement based on your targeted monitoring level. So you will see these bullets and it'll either say that you are participating, or it may say NA, or it may not be included on the document. They're still working on the mail merge of this. So I just want to make sure that just pay attention to these bullets and read if it says targeted a desk review, yes, or participating, or duplicates it, then yes, that's what you're participating. NA or a missing bullet means you're not engaging in that activity. There's also information on the next steps with the reminder that by December 20th, LEAs who are required to submit a strategic support plan in the Ascend application must do so. So December 20th is your SSP deadline. And then as far as your targeted activities, your reviewer will be in touch with you to set up that schedule, especially if you're an on-site. They will be reaching out to get dates to schedule those on-sites. So that's the sample of the notification. As I said, these will all go out to the LEAs who will be engaging in some level of targeted or intensive support this upcoming Monday. So I will stop sharing. And Dr. Maps, did you want to speak to the significant disproportionality supports? And then I'll hop back on and show them where to find all the other resources.
Yes. So this information is for the special education. If you are SD year 3 and you have, which is significant disproportionality year 3, and you have a determination level of either a 3 or a 4, and this is new for you, you will be engaging in part of the intensive support process. And that piece that we will engage in is a collaborative root cause analysis. And what we're doing this year is we are going to be working alongside. So this is coming from the technical assistance team as opposed to the monitoring, review, and support team. But we're working in collaboration with them while they're doing their targeted monitoring and or cyclical monitoring that is coming up. So we will be working in conjunction with them so that we can complete a facilitated root cause analysis with you to look at your significant disproportionality. Now, some things to remember is that, yes, your strategic support plan is due on December the 20th. However, if after we have completed this root cause analysis process, within the significant disproportionality, you find that that root cause is different from what it is that you currently have or what you have currently looked at, that you can go back and make changes and updates to that strategic support plan to use that new information that has been gathered through that root cause analysis process, as well as part of the plan that we will develop as a result of that root cause analysis process. The idea is that we want to help you find those contributing factors to your significant disproportionality so that you can put things that are in place in order to reduce that significant disproportionality. I will be reaching out to those LEAs that fit that category, who will be engaging with us on the technical assistance side. And I will again also be collaborating with your reviewer from the monitoring, review, and support side so that we can try to lessen the amount of meetings that you have And anything that we can do to wrap those meetings into one, because we know that y'all are busy and stretched. So anything that we can do to wrap those meetings into one meeting, we will do in order to ensure that we have continuity and that you do not feel as if you're being pulled in one direction or the other. They're getting collaborative support from the agency. And so now I will turn it back over to Ms. Merrill.
Perfect. Thank you. So I'm going to share with you, hopefully if my screen cooperates. Sorry, there's a little lag on Zoom today. So now I want to just show you where you can find the engagement and intervention requirements based on those determination levels and your SD findings. The resources I'll show you, I will specify. We have some that are blended for all federal programs. We have some that are specific to SPED, and then we have some that are specific to the bilingual EB, ESL, and OSP departments as well. So if you come to the main TEA RDA page, the landing page, you'll see that there's several resources at the top. Some of the information on the webinars, as Anna was sharing at the beginning. If you scroll all the way down, we have this whole section for RDA guidance documents. The few that I'm going to focus on fall underneath these submission calendars, and then the RDA framework intervention requirements. So the first one I want to show is the intervention submission calendar. These are the ones that are split out for the different program areas. So SPED has its own, and then bilingual, EB, ESL, and OSP have a separate version. So on the SPED version, I noticed that in the Q&A, and I know we're not answering questions live, but I have an answer to one of the questions in the Q&A, and that is who submits the SSP. So on the SPED side, your LEA would submit an SSP if they have a determination level of 2, 3, or 4, or if they're a DL1 SD3. So to answer that question of who is required to submit by that December 20th date, there's your answer right there. This document shows you monthly what the expectations are. As you work your way through past December, you'll see that when you look at the month and the activity interventions, pay attention to what levels are engaging at those that cadence. So for some of our levels, the cadence is every so many. Some it's monthly, some it's quarterly. So just make sure you pay attention to what your DL level is, where you fall in the cadence, and what to expect. All DL levels will reconvene with our monitoring, review, and support team in that May to beginning of June block to finalize and provide that end of the year documentation. So that was for special education. Special populations has their own calendar as well. And so you can see the intervention and submission calendar, very similar structure, showing the dates. Full disclosure, we are making an update to this document just to spell it out. As Raul was sharing, there's the self-assessment, there's the training that's coming up. The way that this document is currently structured, it makes it seem like self-assessments only for DL4, but that's not the case. It's DL3s and DL4s that will be participating in the self-assessment. So we're cleaning up the April box, and that should be posted within the next day or two. It's already been submitted for posting, but we wanted to make sure we clarified that because that bullet somehow managed to make its way under the DL4 side only. So those are the two main documents that will help guide your intervention and submission calendar based on your determination level. And then we have this combined sheet that shows intervention requirements broken down by determination level. You can see this section is for the bilingual, ESL, EB, and OSP. And then when you scroll to the second page, it covers SPED. This one has also been updated to show that DL3s and DL4s will also submit their self-assessment. This again should post at the same time as the other one that I just shared. So those are the big ticket items for me to share related to results-driven accountability. The next piece are resources related to the strategic support plan and the development of that. I showed you guys how I find it. I was asked the other day how to find it. The easiest way that I find is just to Google TEA and then put in SSP, and then I just scroll down to the strategic support plan. From this page, Sorry, guys, for the lag. From this page, you can see there's information on the strategic support plan as well as the corrective action plan. If you come down to the resources, we have updated the Ascend Texas Corrective Action Plan document, but the ones that are important for our conversation today are the Ascend Texas SSP. This is a step-by-step process overview to show you how to upload, to enter the information and finalize the SSP in the Ascend Texas application, as well as a guide to continuous improvement. So these two together will help complete the SSP. We have submitted a revised strategic support plan overview recording that should post here in the next day or so as well. It's currently with our comms team having it condensed and put into a YouTube link for easy viewing. So all of these resources should hopefully be up and running in the next week or so, paired with those RDAs, and you should have everything you need. Your notification letter that you received from the SPED department will also have the contact name of your monitoring, review, and support specialist that will be supporting you during your different engagement processes. So you'll have another point of contact who you can reach out to if you have any questions. And I think I turn it back over to you, Jen, right?
Yeah, so I'm going to go back to a couple of web pages and walk through some resources to just remind everybody where you can find a lot of this information. On the RDA webpage, the links at the top lead to the entire 2024 accountability manual, of which RDA is chapter 12 and also appendix K. That link will take you to that whole web page with all of the chapters. The link behind this card takes you to that reports page where you can get to the district level reports for 2024. This right-hand card, you'll see it says coming soon. This is the 2024 RDA overview recording, which it's a recording of a slide deck with audio for each of the slides, and that is currently in the process of getting transferred to a YouTube link. We will have that up by the end of next week at the latest. So that is in process right now. So this is not a live link. This is a placeholder. Then further down on the RDA webpage is the two federal programs webinars, the one from September 19th, where you can view the recording of that, as well as look at the agenda. And then today's webinar link, that this will be replaced from join to view once we get the recording added. And then the agenda is here as well. So within the week, this join webinar link will be replaced with a view webinar link that will be similar to the one from September. So this is being recorded, and the link to watch the webinar will be posted here, and it will remain there. So you don't have to worry about this expiring at any time. This will be part of the RDA webpage for the entire 2024 process. Down at the bottom, the RDA guidance documents. So Lori walked through these two calendars, the special education intervention and submission calendar, and the BE, ESL, EB, and OSP submission calendar. So these two calendars that she walked through, the two different links that say which level DL does what in which month, that is at the bottom of this page, as well as the RDA framework intervention requirements that puts them both together in a 2-page document. So those 3 links that Lori walked through are links on this webpage. In addition, there's an Ascend guidance document. If this is your first time having to navigate Ascend, you can use that link to find out what to do at each step. And then we have a new document here that I'm going to be walking through in just a moment, the Accessing RDA Confidential Reports with DLs in Teal. I'll walk through that in just a moment. But before I do, I want to highlight another webpage, the RDA documentation webpage. So if you're at the RDA webpage, you can go to the right and click on the RDA documentation webpage, and that will take you to another RDA page that just breaks down some of this information to kind of peel away anything else with accountability and just focus on RDA. So you can see here for the 2024 accountability manual, it just leads to the 4 places in the accountability manual where you will find information about RDA. So that includes chapter 12, appendix K, and then the accountability calendar chapter that has dates for RDA included this year, and then the accountability glossary that has terms from RDA included in it this year. So these are the 4 places within that accountability manual that you'll find information about RDA. So that just kind of helps to peel away the extra information. Then we also have an RDA data specifications link. This has been there for some time. This just shows based on where the RDA indicator is, where that data came from. We update this every year. Again, you have the 2 framework documents that I'm going to talk about that are also on the RDA page. These were live as of this afternoon. I'll walk through those in a moment. And then we have a rates to calculate alternate risk ratios, which document is on here too. So all of these are current for 2024. And if you go down to the bottom of the page, you can look at the historic manuals all the way back to when it was PBMAS 2004 being the oldest manual that's still available on the site. So let me take you through 3 links that are on the RDA page. And 2 of those are also repeated on the RDA documentation page. So first I want to talk about the framework documents. These are annual documents that says like, here are the cut points that determine where each determination level starts and ends. So we'll walk through the special education one first. So you can tell it's new because it says 2024 at the top. This was a coming soon text that you couldn't click on until this afternoon. It is live as of today for 2024. As you scroll through the special education framework document, it has lots of information about how these get decided, the federally required elements that are the 4 additional areas of performance level when it comes to the special ed program area. It explains how the PL mean is calculated, a theoretical distribution of the determination levels with the 80 to 95 to 99, and then the top 1% are the DL4s. And then it gets to the page that identifies what are the cut points for this year. So you can see for special education, anything below a cut point of 0.95 was a DL1. It shows how many LEAs were in that range and what percent of the LEAs in the state were at that range. Totals up to 100% with rounding. So if you added these up all together, it might be like 99.98, but it rounds to 100 because we round to the nearest 100th. It shows the ranges for a DL2, a DL3, and a DL4. And then on the last page, it shows how performance levels were assigned to the 4 federally required elements that go along with the SPED program area. So that is this document, this 5-page document is this top link right here for 2024 determination level framework. The second link for bilingual ESL EB OSP framework looks like this. Again, it says 2024 at the top. It looks very similar in the guiding principles, determination level methods, how it's calculated, that theoretical distribution. And then you scroll down to page 3, and it says, okay, here's how the bilingual program area cut points were broken down for a DL1, DL2, DL3, DL4, and then how the OSP program area cut points were broken out for a DL1, DL2, DL3, DL4. So those are the 2 framework documents that are on both the RDA webpage and the RDA documentation page. These are the 2 frameworks, same links that take you to those 2 documents on both of these pages. And then finally, I want to walk through a new link this year for accessing for district level staff with the accountability application permission to access RDA confidential reports with determination levels in teal. So to this point, LEAs have been able to every year access their unmasked confidential reports with the performance levels, and then later on in October, the federally required elements were added to the special ed program area, but it didn't include the determination levels. The public reports have all of that information, but it's masked to have to comply with FERPA. But the teal application allows the unmasked confidential reports to be visible. So to this point, the reports that were there in the performance-based monitoring tab had everything except the determination levels. New this year is a confidential report with determination levels. And this link leads to a document that walks through step by step how to get to this new report. Again, it's the same information as is on the public reports that's masked. This is unmasked, which is why it's behind the teal login. So the first thing that an LEA would do is they would log into teal. go to the accountability application, making sure they're logging in as a district user. Then instead of going to the performance-based monitoring tab, which is where they were able to find the information in September, and then the FREs that were added in October, now they could go to the performance reporting tab to find this new report that has everything, including determination levels at the unmasked level. So in the teal accountability application, they would click on the performance reporting tab as step 3. Step 4, once they're there, they click on the academic accountability row, and that will expand when it's clicked on, whether you click on the words academic accountability or you click on the plus sign, it expands a selection underneath it. This is what that selection looks like. They would select the top row, 2024 accountability reports and data tables. Step 6 is once they click on that, there's all these radio buttons that appear. And then the last one that's there now is results-driven accountability, which is, as a reminder, only available at the district level. It is not available at the campus level. So if you click on the reports for the district and then click on the results-driven accountability, that will then pull up the unmasked RDA report with the performance level assignments. It will have the federally required elements information for the SPED program area, and it will have the determination level information in the summary page. So this is to help the public understand that as we move towards a 2028 goal of integrating RDA with A through F, we are taking steps each year to increase the visibility of RDA in other places. So that's why this is now being added to that accountability 2024 accountability reports tab to bring more awareness to RDA being slowly but surely integrated into the larger accountability system. So those are the latest and greatest resources that have been added, and now you know everything to date that's out there as of today for 2024 RDA. So I will turn it over to Anna to close us out.
Thank you, everyone. We appreciate it. It's a lot of information, I know, and there is some questions that came in the Q&A. So what I typically do is take those and divvy them up amongst the people who are here. If you've left an email and the answer needs to be a response individually, it will. But a lot of times the Q&As kind of help us, or the questions that come in help us with further clarification in maybe another webinar or a Q&A. But it was a lot of information. So we thank you for joining us, and please reach out if there's anything you need. Thank you.